if I'm smiling, it's because it's Christmas. Do Kwon and 5 other members of the leadership team at Terra have been issued arrest warrants by South Korea. And the reason the Wall Street Journal has referred to it as a manhunt is that they are, at least as far as we know, most recently in Singapore, which means that South Korean authorities are going to have to find them. Do Kwon has said he would surrender if this happened, but that's kind of like Donald Trump saying he's going to accept election results. So who knows? And we do have reporting from Protoss that a red alert has been issued or may be issued to Interpol. So there does seem to be some concern that he's a flight risk. South Korea is also apparently considering pulling his passport. A very quick review for those who might not be up to speed. This obviously has been a long-term story, but these charges do not indicate exactly why Do Kwon may be facing criminal charges, but it is under his national securities law. My theory of the case for a long time has been that Terra is effectively a Ponzi scheme, and that a lot, and we can talk about that. But yeah, we may have an international manhunt on our hands.
It's crime time! Can I make my phone call now?
I did not know that was coming, but thanks to the universe.
Who is the face in jail?
What is going on?
Why is he a taco?
Why is it a taco?
Why is the taco guy in jail?
Because we have to taco about it, okay? We got to talk about it.
We got to taco about it.
Oh, excellent.
Who wants to taco about it?
Excellent. I'll pick this one up next. This is good for the ecosystem. It's crazy to see like a year ago where this ecosystem was at, the Terra Luna ecosystem, and now this guy's getting chased down by South Korean authorities. Literally a manhunt, as Wall Street Journal, which uses words very cautiously, is expressing it as. The fact that he's in Singapore, South Korean authorities are looking for him, and Interpol also has a red flag warning out for him, tells you what they're thinking. And you know what makes sense, right? We have a history of people running away from this. Like, I haven't heard anything about the Three Arrows Capital guys since June. Who knows where they're at as well. And these guys can just bounce off. They typically actually have a lot of crypto in cold storage or other places, and they can go find an island and make a pretty comfortable life. Meanwhile, there's really horrible, tragic stories of people in South Korea and all over the world who lost thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, and some even more terrible reports of self-harm based on what this ecosystem did. I guess on the flip side, the conversation is, if Do Kwon truly believed in what he was doing, which I don't think most people would necessarily agree with at this point based on his past history, but just for devil's advocacy here, maybe get David's take on this. If he really was trying to make some sort of new financial primitive and it fell apart, interested to see how that holds up in court. If he was trying to pioneer build something new, a decentralized stablecoin, and it just fell flat on its face, is that a good thing that you can hold up in court and say, like, we were trying to build something else, we're an entrepreneur, we're experimenting here and didn't work out, we're not these alleged bad guys you are making us out to be. But we'll have to wait for the courtrooms, and we'll have to see if he is captured first. Jen, I'll throw it over to you.
Can't believe
Yeah, Will, to your point, I think the murkiness of the law in the industry now speaks to that, right? Right now, regulation across the board is so gray that we can interpret it in so many different ways. So I think if they were to go to court and we were to say that Do Kwon was, trying really hard to do something that was really innovative and different, the law is so opaque that it can easily be argued against. When I read this story, I thought about that coinage interview, and I'm so sorry. Every time we talk about Do Kwon, I think about this interview, and I think about his lack of remorse. You know, he was like, "Well, it didn't work. We're gonna try again. I'm okay. I live pretty frugally, so even though I lost my net worth, I'm good." And we forget about the retail investors on the other end of the coin. You know, people who are really trying to make some money for themselves in an economy that is just really super dire. So this is just a really sad story. And I think it's not only South Korea that's going to be going after Do Kwon. There's mention of lots of class action lawsuits popping up all over the place. And we really saw Do Kwon go from crypto's darling to, crypto's most wanted. And we've seen this before, right? This is not the first time we've seen someone put up on a pedestal and then pushed off. And I don't think it's the last time. And so I think if anyone can take anything away from the story, don't invest what you cannot afford to lose. Most things in this space are an experiment. I saw everyone's hand go up. Wendy, I'm going to pass it up to you since you haven't spoken yet. And then I know, David, you're itching to get some words in.
So again, everything is still technically in beta when we're talking about crypto, when we're talking about Bitcoin, when we're talking about NFTs. And again, exactly what you said, Jen, there's not a whole lot of clarity when we're talking about laws and regulations for crypto on a global scale. One of my followers actually said it best this morning because I was tweeting about Gary Gensler. They said the law is clear, the law is transparent, it is invisible, you can't see it. And the reason why is because there's like, they give us somewhat of direction, but that's nothing that's set in stone. So we're going to continue to see people create things, do what they want to do, and people are going to get hurt in the process of that. So at this point, I'm almost feeling like we really need to take a stand against the SEC and some of these other legal bodies and ask them what they've been doing the last 5 years. What have they been doing since 2017? What have they been doing since 2018? Why don't we have any type of legal clarity? Like, it shouldn't take this long to come up with some legal clarity. But the good thing about crypto is everything is available and transparent on the blockchain. So if somebody's doing something funny, you pretty much are able to decipher what's happening. So again, my heart goes out to anybody who lost money. My moon bag of Terra Luna is completely gone. It went to zero, and on top of it, it's on Voyager, so that makes it even more fun because I don't have access to the $5.
Well, the good news is you can only lose it once.
Wendy, I'm sorry we all laughed.
It's funny though. No, it's
sorry
it's funny.
that we all.
The thing is I understood the risk of leaving, those coins on Voyager. It was a moon bag. That's something I talked to about my audience. You should never leave cryptocurrency on an exchange unless it is something that you're okay with losing. But it is what it is. Is very sad. And hopefully we get, we start to learn, we start to grow from this. And hopefully some of the people that did lose money were able to make it back in Luna Classic.
Let me just get in a couple quick comments here regarding the Coinage interview. I think there's two things very important about that interview. One is definitely no remorse from Do Kwon. He seems to have no comprehension of the damage that he'd caused to individuals. That's going to be important for the case. Second thing there, again, his insistence that he was really trying to do something real. His best legal defense at this point is arguing that he's a stupid person. He has to say, I was wrong, I did not know what I was doing, or else he's going to go to jail. And I think that, on some level, he's a stupid person, so there might be some fairness there. Last thing I have to share, I wore a special shirt today, as I have been doing more frequently, because we called it, I'm right, never question my authority, I am correct, always correct. And shout out to the Share Zone for that one.